I was 16 years old, and I remember walking down the street as I went to our homecoming game at our high school, Friday Night Lights. As the game ended and I was walking home, there was an energy that was in the area. As we were walking, I remember cheers going across the streets. We felt connected. But I remember as I walked past the street, there were two officers that approached me. They said, there was a robbery that happened in the convenience store, and we need to ask you a few questions. I was shocked, because I was out there just having fun. I mean, why me? So I answered their questions nervously, and then they told me to empty my backpack. So I took out my backpack and threw my textbooks, my water bottle, my lunchbox, all to try to prove my innocence. And as I did that, I felt this weight. I felt the weight of the police officers staring at me. I felt the weight of the judgmental eyes passing by. And I felt the weight of my blackness. Moving forward, that wasn't the last time that I had to deal with either a discrimination or any subtle racism. I chose to hide it. I chose to bury it because that's what I had to do to represent myself as a black man. I had to be strong, I had to be resilient, and I couldn't show emotion. But the more it happened, the more I had to bury it down. And then it reached the pandemic. I saw the images and videos of George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery who lost their lives to racial injustice. And from that moment, I couldn't help but see myself in each one of those spaces, in each of those videos, in each of those pleas. I saw me, and I went back to that feeling when I was in high school, kneeled down, trying to prove my innocence. I needed a space to talk about this. I was empowered by the voices of folks who were protesting and raising their voices to this injustice. I knew I had to do the same. So I reached out to a friend. Now, this friend was a fellow black man as well, so I knew I could be comfortable there, but talking about feelings, I can't talk about that. We talked about movies, sports, anime, like a girl here and there. But feelings, I couldn't do that. But I took out my phone and sent the message and said, hey, I hope you're doing well, but I really need the space to talk right now. As I did, I nervously anticipated his response. Low-key, I was really expecting him to say, boy, if you don't stop with them emotions, ain't nobody got time for that. But to my surprise, he answered me, and he said he resonated with what I was saying. He said that he felt those same emotions as well, and all he was looking for was a space to talk. Exactly what I was looking for, too. And so, after that exchange, one thing that stood out to me, what he said was, it's okay to not be sure how to feel right now, but just know whenever you're ready to talk, man, I got you. Simple words, I know, but to me, it felt like my high school self who was kneeled down there just pleading for my innocence was heard. I felt like my experience was validated, and I felt a new sense of strength. And from that point, I felt an obligation, a responsibility to be able to reach out to other people, to see how they're doing and how they're coping. So I reached out to black men in my life, black women in my life too, all to create the space to see how we're doing and how you're authentically and truly feeling. And from that point, I saw the power of vulnerability. I saw the power of connection, all being done by being vulnerable. And as I opened that space, I was inspired to make sure that I was advocating for more spaces, especially for youth who could be going through the same thing. So as I leave here today and thinking and reflecting about that impact, I'm left with a Jamaican saying that my mom used to say all the time. We little, but we talawa. All right, so what that means is we're small, but we're mighty. And that's what I reflect on. I think that despite feeling small from the adversities that are happening in the world, when we connect and when we bond and we're able to be our authentic selves, we're able to be powerful. We're able to empower ourselves, empower our peers, and give ourselves the space of healing as a community to impact the world. So with that, I encourage you all to think about spaces where you could visit. Think about spaces where you could empower others by being your authentic selves and become that beacon to be changed in the world. Thank you.